So again, April is Stress Awareness Month, and I'm just going to give you just 3 situations. One is a true story, but let's just get there. Recently, a 66-year-old man, Michael, moved to a new community and was robbed of all of his money, his ID, and his clothes. So naturally, Michael was what? He was stressed out. I mean, that's the stressor for you. And then we talk about Linda. Linda is 62, and she was faced with a different set of challenges. Right before COVID, she had lost her job and her marriage. Newly employed and living alone, she wasn't sure how to navigate those uncharted waters by herself. And then there's, of course, Beth. Beth is 83, struggles to understand technology. Already somewhat of a warrior, and she has such mistrust of even calls that she receives. You know, she don't know if they're trying to take her Social Security from her, or they get all these calls. So she has isolated herself from relatives and friends, and who could really help her with her paperwork, but she just don't trust anybody. Any of these sound familiar, correct? Okay. So I like to look at stress as, well, let me just explain stress. Stress is, according to World Health Organization, is a mental reaction to challenging circumstances, such as financial stability, layoff, divorce, and technophobia, as they call it. And it's very prevalent among older adults. And I'm sure all of y'all, just like I got my grandchild here to help us out, you know. So, but I always like to preface this with stress. Stress is, not all stress is bad stress. There's good stress and there's bad stress, but we're concentrating on the bad stress now. But fight or flight, anybody heard that term? Yes. Of course, if that is the case, you're in a place where the fire, you're gonna get out. That's stress, that's stress. But we're also going to identify some red flags with older adults and how stress has an effect on our health. Again, my company, senior to senior, I'm right there. So when I'm sitting here talking to you all, I'm talking to myself, because I'm trying to stay as healthy as I can as I get older. And so what are some of the red flags? Chronic illness, inflammation, arthritis. Now, of course, we may have some of those things anyway, but believe me, stress makes it that worse. So, heart palpitations, indigestion, headaches. All of these are things that bring older adults to unhealthy situations. Caregiving responsibilities. Now, has anybody ever had to take care of a spouse or a loved one?
Yes.
I had to take care of my mother. And I did it in love, but it is stressful. It is very stressful. But there are options, there are resources, there are things. So that's good news. I don't want you to think that that's the worst thing to do, but I want you to concentrate on what can you do. Look at the source and how we can take the source away. So, loss and grief of a spouse or friend or child, that's stressful. Loneliness or boredom, living alone, social withdrawal, depression. All of these are very stressful, but I like for you to concentrate on the resources. I consider myself a resource. When I send my newsletter out every month, it's usually about a tip or something that will help you realize that you do have options. You can go to the county. You can go to your insurance. A lot of times your insurance will take care of things. If you're taking care of a person who's ill, you can get what they call respite. Respite is when you have somebody come in and just take your place that day, give you a little reprieve. So all of these things exist. So I like people to understand that we got options. So the story I was telling you about Michael was a true story. He did come to our church. behind the Walls Ministry. He got off the Greyhound bus and everybody took everything from him. So he was on the street for 3 months. He just happened to come over to the church that day, well, 3 months after he was on the street. And I just happened to be the one who prayed with him. But he was so lost, he just didn't know what to do. So what I did was help him to get connected with senior, with the social services and things like that. So he was able to get his money, because he had a pension. He was able to get his ID, he was able to get his health insurance. So what seemed to be lost for him was an option if we utilize the services that the city has and your insurance has. So anyway, Michael is doing well now. Got him a place, he got his license back and got his ID. And then there's other places like churches, other nonprofits, Social Security. Has anybody ever heard of the Friendship Cafe?
Yes.
Okay. The Friendship Cafe is a cafe that AARP has. And they have it at different churches, different organizations. And you can choose to go there if you're a senior. I don't know if they pick you up. They used to pick you up. But it's a place, they do?
They will.
They pick you up. So that's a place where you can connect. In addition to your church, you can connect to other people. They play games, they do things like that. So if you're lonely, you're bored, no, don't give up. Just look at other options, other sources. Food bank, if you run out of food, sometimes some seniors, maybe not us, but there are seniors who have to choose between their medicine and their rent. And when you identify those type of people, you can support them and help them by sending them to resources. You know, like I sent a newsletter out, but I would love for you all to subscribe to. So I pass that out. If you want to, you can go to it and put your name in, and I'll send you a monthly newsletter about different sources. Now, has anybody ever heard of REAP?
Yes.
Okay, so you're familiar with REAP. Okay, good. Well, let me just say it anyway. REAP is not organization. It's a part of the county that if you're an older adult and you have certain criteria, you don't have to pay taxes on your residence, your house. Your primary residence. It has to be a primary residence. So if you don't know, then you need to find out. And one way to do it is just through resources, asking, again, my newsletter will help with that too. Eat a well, healthy, balanced meal. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. I left my water in there. Oh, no, there it is right there. I try to drink 2 of those every day. That way, I get my 64 ounces in. If I drink 2 of those bottles of water a day. And the reason I'm saying this is because, hey, I'm old too. I'm trying to stay healthy as long as I can. I just had, talking about sleep disturbances, and you might see there's a cut under my neck here. I just got at it was overnight, but wasn't overnight, it was outpatient surgery. Because I have sleep apnea. And sleep apnea, really, my doctor said 30 times a night, I'd stop breathing. So I found the mask didn't work for me. So I sought other alternatives. So now I'm having an Inspire put in. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not.
I've heard of it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm having one put in because I want to keep the quality of my life as long as I can. You know, I got a knee here, and if it keep acting up, I might have to get go fix that too. So I'm not beyond doing what I have to do to stay healthy, reduce my blood pressure. Has anybody ever heard of Swim RVA?
Yes.
Yes.
I go there.
Yes.
It is on Robigus Road. Seniors can go free with your insurance. It depends on what insurance you have, but I'll check that out. And it has this pool. And this pool is a warm pool where you are on treadmills, under the water.
Okay.
And you just exercising. No pain, you ain't know that you.
Underwater.
Underwater.
Your head is your head.
No. Come up here.
That was my question, is I don't want my hair to get
Me either.
I need to do something like that, but I don't want my hair to get
Your hair, it does come up to here, but you're on the treadmill, and you can sort of, depend if you want to get some of that, then it will give you a little bit more water, but you don't have to put your hair in.
Oh, okay. I'll look into that.
No, but it's, okay, Vivian, like I said, it's free to older adults. And I go there at least twice a week for my exercise, trying to stay healthy, trying to keep on, because we are who we are, but one thing about being a senior now is that we are the wealthiest ones because we got more money and we get retirement. So you might as well try to do whatever you can to stay healthy as long as you can. We're living longer now. So we got to exercise, we got to drink water, we got to stay healthy. We can get together and do it. I invite you to go with me. Come on, let's go and hang out and do some things. So anyway, like I said, my story is my sleep apnea, which I am now having put in so I can sleep better, so I won't be so tired during the day. I have even pulled up some. I just like to emphasize health, stress, and how we can help ourselves do better. And being that sleep is my Achilles heel, I would like to just leave you with this. It's what I do at night when I lay down, because with sleep apnea, I don't ever know when I'm gonna wake up. But Psalm 23, he maketh me lie down in green pastures for his name's sake. So when I say that, meditate on that, I go right on to sleep. And just thank God when I wake up in the morning. Okay, that's all I had to say. I don't have it. If anybody has any questions, or if I could just give you some insight,